Okay, guys and gals, I'm Brandon and I have about 15 years experience installing vinyl siding. And what I'm going to show you today is what I do when I come across a piece of siding that's been unclipped. Like this right here, the bottom is floating. And the reason why this is unclipped is because this piece is too low and the clip isn't fully engaging. Now, for sake of demonstration, you have a receiving clip on the nail hem and you have the actual clip on your succeeding piece of siding. Okay, and then these clip together just like this. And what's happening is it's just too low. And a lot of siders that I've seen, they don't follow my advice and install the siding so that the clip is fully engaged. I always say to put the nail at the top of the slot as well in the center of the slot. And what happens if you don't do that is it's just hanging down a little bit. So the first thing you want to do when it comes to fixing this is you want to establish what the reveal on your siding is. You can see right here we have 4 inches. Right here we're going to have slightly less than 4 because this piece isn't fully engaged, and you can see it flexing up when I push on the bottom. That becomes problematic with every succeeding course because you might let one sink down more than the other, and pretty soon you look down the wall and it starts to wave like that. So you always want to make sure that the pieces are fully engaged in that clip. And you can see right here, it's supposed to stay true to an 8-inch layout. And right there we have 23 3/4 where we should be at 24. Right here we're almost at 5/8 where we should be at 32. Okay, so I'll show you 2 different methods to take care of this. The first thing you want to do is unclip the piece that's flapping here. Fully unclip it. And I'll toss these aside for now. And all we're going to do is we're going to get our arm in there. I like to get my whole forearm, elbow to give myself plenty of room. You just need to be careful over here. If your piece that's into the corner can't slide out, like this one slid out, if it's staying tight in there, you'll make a little dimple in this piece and possibly crack this piece. So it's best to do all your vinyl repairs, if you can, when it's warm out. So we're just going to pull that up, get our hammer coil on that nail, and we'll just pull all the nails like that. We can go behind that hem, or we can go on top of it. Sometimes I'll go behind it, sometimes I'll go on top of it. So I guess I didn't use my elbow like I was saying I was going to. All right, now we have the piece fully unclipped, or fully, all the nails are pulled. So all it takes is a little bump on one end, and now it's loose there, and it'll come right out. I'm going to show you guys my less preferred method first, but it is something you can do. I think it's probably a little faster. It might be a little easier for some of you. So I'm not going to do it with my full piece here because I want to save that. I'll demonstrate on a scrap, but just keep in mind that you would do this with a full piece. So what you could do is knife off this entire top nail fin. So you put your knife right in there like this, and just careful you don't bust through and cut your hand. So you want to lightly knife that, just enough to score it, and fold that. and now that rips right off of there. Okay, now you could clip the whole piece in, just like I'm doing with this small one. What I did, once again, is clip the piece in here and make sure I'm holding it up tight. Again, this would be a full length piece. And you just hold the piece up tight as you're going and trace the back of this joint there, okay? So make sure it's up nice and tight and trace it out. And now we know where that piece is contacting. Okay, now what we want to do is we know that we're going to put this piece down here, and you can see that the piece is showing behind those nail slots. So we need to get rid of a little bit of the top of this piece. So we can cut out maybe a 1/4 inch or so, 1/8 inch maybe. And now we'll be able to nail this piece here separate from this piece here. And we won't be nailing through this and nailing this piece tight underneath. Okay? So I have my slotted nail punch here. And all I'm going to do is pop a couple holes. You would do this all the way down that piece. I got a cricket friend here apparently. He wanted to chime in. Okay, I would do this probably every 12 inches or every 16 inches. And clip it in just like any other piece of siding. Hold it up tight. Get my elbow under there to give myself some more room. And don't nail it tight. You never nail vinyl tight. Oops. There we go. Okay. I won't use that nail hole. So now that we have that piece in there, we know it's not going anywhere. We put this clip maybe just a fuzz above the line, okay? And you could also do this with a piece of aluminum starter strip, and you'd probably have a little bit more secure connection. Okay, and again, you don't want to nail this tight either. It needs to be all slide. So both these pieces can slide. That can slide, and now you can zip that into there. The reason why I don't like this is because to the trained eye, you can see that this reveal is different. We didn't change that reveal. It's still at less than 3.5. But that is a sure way to have it connected back on there, and you know that nothing's gonna come unclipped then. Alright guys, we got those out of the way now, and now I'm on to method 2. Decided to start raining a little bit more for me here, and what I'm going to do is we're going to take down 2 pieces here and we're going to sink them down. Okay, so we'll unclip it quite a ways, and once again repeat that process of taking all the nails out. Okay, a little bump, it gets that out. I'm really hoping that my GoPro isn't getting all foggy. All right. So we have 2 pieces down and we unnailed the 3rd piece. So what we're going to do here is, you got to be very careful when you do this. We're going to let all these pieces hang down just a little bit. And how much is determined by how much you need to lose before we hit this 4-inch mark there, okay? So if you have to lose more, you might have to go all the way down to the starter strip and move their starter strip down, and that'll get you what you need, and then you'll be able to fully engage the locks. But for here, we'll just say that that's not an option, and we'll go ahead and let these pieces hang down just a little bit. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it up tight, all the way up tight, and then I'm going to put the point of the nail at the bottom of that hole and allow that nail to push the siding down a little bit. So now we rested it down just a little bit. And I'm going to do the same thing in the middle here. Go up tight and then allow it to rest down. And we'll do the same thing over here. Actually, this piece is about where we want it, so we won't go quite as much right here. All right, so now we allowed it to sink down, and I'm going to fill in the middle, being careful not to pull the piece back up. I'm also being careful not to push the piece back down, or down further than it is. Okay, once again, the same process. Go up tight. Careful not to pull this piece up when I pull this one up too. Nails at the bottom of the hole, and we're letting those rest down just a little bit. It's kind of done by feel, but I can tell you one thing, you don't want to lose any more than an 1/8 inch on a piece. Because you're running the risk of having it unclipped. So you can see right there we're not quite losing an 1/8 inch. We got 3 15/16, and now if we measure between here, we got 7 3/4. I think it's going to turn out pretty good. You want to make sure these nails don't go tight like that one just did. That was good timing. Okay. And this piece can move still. It's got to be able to slide back and forth. Okay, now we made it to another piece of siding here. We can clip this one back in. You can already see that's engaging pretty good. And this piece, I mean, pretty bad. It's not even really big enough, but this is what they had on there. Okay. We're letting it rest down a little bit. And last piece here. And you can see that's much closer. I think it's going to work out great. Okay, I'm really hoping my GoPro isn't all foggy now. But we got the piece nailed. We nailed about every 16 inches. And now it's time to clip it in. So we're just rolling that clip down. Okay? Just like I've been doing. It rolls it down. That's why you don't want to do it when it's cold out, because you'll actually snap that thing right there. Now this tool I'm actually kind of putting a little bit like this. It's at an angle this way, so I'm getting that very corner. You can kind of go more flat, I think, but I just kind of got used to doing it that way. And all right, that's it, guys. Ran into a little bit of weather here, but those are my two methods on how to fix siding that came unclipped. If there's anything else you guys want to see, just let me know. I'll see you guys later.